Thank you, Mr. President. Look, given it is some time since we dealt with this bill, I will just briefly summarise the history behind this. Indeed, the Adelaide Parklands were established in 1837, the world's first public park, and Adelaide remains the only city in the world that is fully garlanded by parks. And indeed, it's often said that Adelaide is a city in a park, not a city in a car park, as many seem to envisage for the CBD. In 2008, the Parklands received National Heritage listing by the then Federal Minister for the Environment, the Honourable Peter Garrett. And it was then that in 2009 the process formally began to ask the State Heritage Council to consider whether SA should follow the federal government's lead and actually provide that state heritage protection. Well, 12 years later, and still the clock is ticking. There was a process of public consultation back in 2017, and I understand there were a record number of submissions, and I observed this when I first introduced the bill in the previous parliament. There was also a recommendation of the State Heritage Council to include the Parklands on the State Heritage List. So it's disingenuous for the government to claim that the process has not been followed or that there has been insufficient consultation. I do want to thank the opposition and SA Best for their support of this bill. Indeed, the position of SA Best is consistent with the view that they expressed to the Parklands Association in a survey that was published on their website in the lead-up to the last election. Indeed, in that survey, the SA Best party stated, and I quote from that submission, "We would like to see legislation to declare the Adelaide Parklands heritage listed to provide them with this high level of protection into the future, and a bill reintroduced and passed in the new parliament. We will strongly support that and pressure for it to be a priority in the House of Assembly." And goes on to further say, SA Best has strongly supported national and state heritage listing, and we will do whatever is necessary to support this land being rezoned back into its original process. So it's certainly, I appreciate the Honourable Connie Benares's support for this bill, and it's certainly my expectation that that will continue going forward, consistent with the position that they took to the last election. It is disappointing, however, to note the position of the Labor Party. They say, Mr. President, that a week is a long time in politics. Well, you know, 7 months must be a whole age, Mr. President, because when they were in opposition, they were very happy to pour scorn on the Liberal Party, and rightly so, because their record on the Parklands is abysmal. But they were very happy to pour scorn on the Liberals, very happy to pour scorn on them. But then, when they're in government, when they've got their seat, they've got their bums on the Treasury benches, what are they doing in terms of actually delivering on a different outcome? Back in February, every political party in this place supported state heritage listing for the Adelaide Parklands. What has changed, Mr. President? What has changed? They won the seat of Adelaide and now they're taking it for granted. Well, I can tell you there were lots of people, Mr. President, that supported the Labor Party in the seat of Adelaide because they were aghast at the Liberals' management of the Parklands and contempt for our public green space. Yet what have they got from the new Labor government? They've got more of the same. And might I say, at least for the Liberals, they supported this bill in the last parliament. They said they'd make it a priority, and they've stood firm in supporting it in this place. The same cannot be said for Labor. With friends like the Labor Party, the Parklands hardly need enemies, Mr. President. Now, I had an opportunity to look back at the second reading speeches that were given on this bill, and I do want to quote from a statement made by the Honourable Emily Burke on the 8th of February in this place. And I make no criticism of the Honourable Emily Burke. She was simply stating the position of the Labor Party at that time. But she said in her speech, A state heritage area may include areas notable for their distinct heritage characters or a sense of place formed by buildings or structures, spaces and allotments, patterns of streets and natural features, or the development of the landscape. And she goes on to say, Mr President, the Adelaide Parklands fits well within all of the above qualities of what makes it an important and valued sense of space. And goes on to talk about how this bill was an important way of recognising those characteristics. Well, why, Mr President, has the Labor Party changed their position? It is very easy to talk about loving the parklands, Mr President, but don't pay attention to what comes out of their mouths. Look at what they do with their feet. Look at how they vote on the parklands. That is the test, and that is the test of leadership that the Labor Party has failed time and time again when it comes to our public green space. If they love the parklands, they should list the parklands, bring South Australia into line with the National Heritage Listing and show some leadership on this issue. Stop the flip-flopping, stop the backflipping. This is the party, Mr President, that gave away our parklands, our public green space behind this very building to the Walker Corporation many years ago. South Australians are aghast to see this monument to the development sector that is being erected behind our state parliament. And they will be urging Labor to show some leadership on this issue and to support the position that they took in the lead-up to the last election, that is, to support this bill.